What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, the community manager for One Piece Treasure Cruise, Yannicka, had posted in the newsfeed of the One Piece Treasure Cruise subreddit Discord a very interesting post, stating that created a thread for the purpose of understanding which characters you guys potentially would like to see available / obtain again within the game. This can be supports you can't get anymore, special rare recruits, free to play, etc. And then we can reply in the thread. And what people have been doing since this post has been posting a bunch of different characters that they would like to see return into the game. Characters that are very hard to get, or characters that have not been in the game for a very long time. You know, characters that won like one banner way back in the day and then never ever returned. And what I want to do in this video today is to kind of compile the top 10 characters that I've kind of sifted through on my own to see which of these characters should return. Now, the characters that I have gone through and selected are characters that are usable, characters that you are actually actively going to use in content to help you clear it. I know that there is a lot of characters that people want to get for collection purposes, or just because the artwork looks cool, or just because they want to complete their Pokédex, but I want to make this video talking about the top 10 characters that I believe everyone deserves to get a chance to get, as these are characters that are going to be very good and in helping you clear content. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So moving on to number 10, the first selection here is going to be the Ichiban Kuji Celebration characters. We have the Monkey D. Luffy, who was a super type character, and then more importantly was the Nami. Now this Nami was like kind of like the consolation prize in the banner. They definitely felt like Luffy was like the more premium unit to get, but people that were more in the know knew that this Nami was definitely the one that everyone wanted to get, having the ability to resist special reverse and also resist special bind, whilst also providing cooldown, bind, and special bind removal and resilience removal, and is a damage dealing special. This unit is very good and had only released on the Ichiban Kuji Celebration, so this would be a character that I think a lot of people would love to get their hands on, not only just because it's a Nami character who has access to very good supports, but the artwork is pretty cool, and also the special ability and the crewmate abilities are very useful on this character, so I think this character definitely should return. Moving on to the 9th position, we've got kind of like two characters here once again, but mainly this one right here, Corazon, who is a quick unit, and this character debuted with this free-to-play Don Quixote do Flamingo event, and while the character's special ability is pretty mid, the main reason why this character was good was because of the support effect attaching to Trafalgar Law and Sengoku, and anytime you're inflicted with bind or attack down, you just reduce it by 2 turns, and this character has only been out I think twice in One Piece Treasure Cruise Global, and in both instances this character's been pretty hard to get. So this again is another character that a lot of people would love to get access to, with such a phenomenal support effect attaching to, you know, Sengoku, and hopefully we get another Legend Sengoku in the future. This would be a great addition to that, but also the fact that we have so many lore characters in the game, and we already have Legend Corazon, who has a very similar support, but having the ability to remove attack down is just another level that makes this character so good. But obviously with that same release, there was this Violet character who's also like pretty good. Not a bad special, reducing Rainbow Shield and Blue Shield by 5, also giving minus cooldown, resisting it with her crewmate ability, and providing color affinity, and then attaching to Sanji if you hit a perfect, removing 1 turn of Rainbow Shield. So both Violet and Corazon are great supports, and specifically Violet actually has a pretty good special that can be used in content. Moving on to position number 8, we have Charlotte Custard. Now this character has actually returned once since the character's release, I believe. So this character, I believe, was given to us when we had that merge celebration, if I remember correctly, but then we also had this character like re-release. I think it was in the Rayleigh's Bazaar, but again, this is a character that not everyone can have access to all the time, and the main reason why everyone wanted this is because it attaches to any int character, and the support effect says that when they use their special, lock the slots of your int characters for 1 turn. I mean, a free slot lock is extremely valuable. We've seen with Perospero, who you've got like the 2 free-to-play ones, one for Cerebral, one for Striker, and then you've got that Dex Jinbei for free Spirit, and you have this one here for int characters. These supports are very valuable, and they're used in a lot of instances. So again, this would be just a really nice support to get people to start using for their int teams. Really valuable. Moving on now to the 7th position on my top 10, and is going to be Perospero. This character came out when Sweet Commanders debuted on Global, which was quite a long time ago, And the interesting thing about that is this character has not returned since the Sweet Commanders debuted on Global, so it's been a very, very long time. And once again, the character is mainly used for their support effect, attaching to Big Mom or Katakuri, and whenever the enemy gets a blue shield or a threshold buff, remove it by 2 turns. And you guys don't even know, this effect has been so useful on a lot of content, and again, attaching to either Big Mom or Katakuri, you've got a lot of characters you can attach to, and being able to just remove 2 turns of a defensive buff. You know, sometimes the enemy will have like a 6-turn buff, so you have this support, and then you can just run a 4 or a 5-turn remover. You know, we see that quite a lot on Kizunas, where after a certain level, the boss gets like an additional buff. So being able to have a support effect that can just remove 2 turns of it, in a lot of cases is really valuable, and it's, you know, really good in GARP challenges. Sometimes the enemy only has a defensive buff for a couple of turns, you can just remove it for free. It's very valuable, and the fact that this character's only been out like once definitely needs to return. So number 6 on the list is going to be Support Makino, and again, this is one of those characters that basically never came back. We've got Makino, actually, I believe it may have came back once, but again, the main reason why this character is useful is for the support effect. Shanks, Beckman, Lucky Roo, Yasop, and any time you're inflicted with a chain lock or a blindness effect, you just remove both of them by 3 turns. Very valuable, very, very good for the local sea monster Grand Voyage event, because if you don't have this, you basically have to hit through the blindness on the local sea monster, which for a lot of players out there is very difficult to do, and especially because finding specific friend captains is very difficult. I think that having this character re-released to help people clear the local sea monster, and of course it's not going to be the damage potential boosting effect that you're going to have to tip you over the edge to get you the win, but it's just a very useful support effect to have for any future Shanks character that comes out. Number 5 on my list is going to be this treasure map Hyogoro character. I'm so upset that when this character came out, I was unable to pull him, because there has been so many times, like since his release, that I wish I had this guy. He is so good. So he debuted on a treasure map, of course, and they don't really like to re-release treasure map characters. They really like to restrict them to their initial release, of course, unless if there's a legend debuting alongside that. But his support effect is ridiculous, attaching to any Luffy in the game, and if you use a special of that Luffy, reduces 2 turns of attack down and 2 turns of damage threshold. Such a valuable support, and considering the sheer amount of Luffy characters in the game, this is a support that sees a lot of play. So I would love to see this character come back, because, you know, we have a couple of supports for Luffy that can get rid of damage threshold. Obviously the new Vivi that just came out from the support rare recruit, she can do that, but Vivi only activates, you know, on the last stage, whereas Hyogoro just activates whenever you use the special. So you can use this on before the boss stage and stuff. I mean, having both Vivi and Hyogoro for different circumstances is incredibly valuable. So I would love to see this guy return in some fashion. I would love to purchase him with Sugo medals. Heck, I would give up like 1,000 Sugo medals just to get this guy, because he's been so key in a lot of cool teams in the past. But overall, this is a character that definitely needs to come back. Moving on now to the 4th position on the list, and this is technically a batch of 3 different characters, and these are also treasure map characters. We have Tashigi, Makino, and Hina, and personally speaking, Hina was the one that I did not get, but let's talk about each of them very briefly. You've got Tashigi with her support attaching to any strength slasher. When you use the special, 2 turns of Rainbow Shield is removed. Very good. You got Makino, very similar. Strength free spirit, and when you use a special, remove 2 turns of Blue Shield. Again, very good. And then you have Hina, who is an int character, attaching to an int striker character. If you use the special, reduce 2 turns of damage threshold. So you have each of these supports that attach to various different characters, and whenever you use their special, just remove 2 turns of one of the 3 main defensive buffs. All 3 of these characters are super good. Personally speaking though, I have Tashigi and Makino, and I haven't actually used them too much, but you know, on paper, these characters are incredible, and being able to remove 2 turns of those defensive effects we've seen with a couple of the characters we've talked about in this video so far, they're going to be pretty valuable. So again, these are the types of characters we'd love to see re-ran on banners or potentially purchasable with Sugo medals. Moving on to the number 3 on my list, then this is a pretty big one. Now, these 2 characters are not known for their supports, but this is on the list because of the fact that these characters have been used in a lot of my own personal teams in the past, and a lot of people always ask me, where the hell do I get that Akainu? Where the hell do I get that Aokiji? And the thing is they've only come out, I believe, on 2 banners on their initial release, and then I think they were reran maybe once. Very, very weird in the fact that they just don't like to rerun these special types of units. Sakazuki, though, let's go ahead and break him down. The fact that Sakazuki, though, he's a quick unit, but he's also a free spirit. Like, that's just really odd to begin with. But his special, reducing defense for 2 turns, reducing paralysis and attack down by 5, and if you have 4 or more quick or psi units, you boost attack against reduced defense by 1.75 for 2 turns. And I have used this guy a lot in the past, and the fact that he does the conditional boost for 2 turns has actually come up a lot. So I like that, the fact that you can just use your special, great utility, and get that conditional boost for multiple turns. So good. So that is just Sakazuki, and then you have Kuzan on the flip side, being an int character, also being free spirit, and his special gives you a bit of healing, reduces threshold, rainbow shield, and blue shield, all by 5 turns, essentially like a pseudo bobbin type of special. And then once again, if you got 4 or more strength or int characters, you get a 1.75 color affinity to strength and int for 2 turns. Very valuable once again. This guy, like both of these guys are just awesome, and the fact that they're both the admirals, there are a couple of key supports that they get access to, which is kind of nice. So yeah, I think that this type of unit would be amazing to rerun, as a lot of people have asked for them. I think that they deserve to come back. So now we're going to be moving on up to the second character on my list, which is going to be the Straw Hat Pirates rerun. This character literally only came out as a Chopper Man mission on that like weird like Straw Hat event that came out, and they never ever came back. But the Straw Hat Pirates, I mean, obviously there's a big flaw in the character, the fact that it counts as both Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, not Chopper, but Usopp and Nami. The fact that it counts as all of those units is obviously an inherent flaw in the design, but they more than make up for that with a very valuable support effect that attaches, by the way, to Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook. Unfortunately, Jinbei is not included. It would be nice if they went back to kind of update some of these support effects to attach to more units. I think that would be really, really cool. But anyways, this character is amazing. Bind, Despair, and Paralysis removed by 2 turns anytime you're inflicted with it. So it's essentially a V1 Rayleigh and a Corazon Legend support. It's literally a Legend tier support, but it only attaches to Chopper, Robin, Frankie, and Brook, which is still not bad at the end of the day, as these characters will continuously receive updated units in the future of the game. So I think that, you know, even looking forward into the future, this is a support effect that's going to see a lot of play. Even though, you know, you can't use the other Straw Hats with it, I still think that this support effect would be nice for a lot more people to get their hands on. And we've finally made it to the #1 character that I think deserves to come back in One Piece Treasure Cruise, that everyone should get their hands on, and that's going to be this Pedro right here. There has been so many times where I've used this support, and the fact that this character, again, is only released 1 time during 1 random event, and he never came back. I believe he debuted with Luffy and Sanji, correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I think he debuted with Luffy and Sanji, but either way, this support effect is fantastic. So it only attaches to Carrot and Brook, so it is a little bit more restrictive, but it does remove Despair and Attack down by 2 turns, anytime you're inflicted with it. And this is good. I mean, there's been a lot of cases where I've used mainly Brook. Mainly, I will, you know, run a Brook character, and then we have this support that we can just use whenever we want. Because Brook actually has a lot of pretty decent units in the game, and this support effect is phenomenal. And a lot of people would think that, you know, this is a weird one to talk about, but it's the fact that, you know, if you ever run one of these random Carrots or Brooks, even like Legend Carrot, for example, Carrot and Wanda, we can just go to search for the supported characters, and we can just have a look at, like, you know, all these 6-star characters. I mean, look at all these characters you can attach to. Luffy and the Straw Hats as well. I completely forgot about that. Anything that includes Brook, you can attach it to. So all of these legends get access to that, which is, again, like, super valuable. And that's just a very small sample size. There's a lot of good characters that character can actually attach to. But of course, there are so many characters in the game of One Piece Treasure Cruise that I haven't even listed here, but these are just the top 10 that I've kind of come across that think they deserve a rerun because either I've used them a lot and I think more people should get access to them, or they're even characters that I don't even have and I want to get my hands on them as well. So leave your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Is there like a random character in the game that has a really cool effect that was only released a couple of times and you've never had a chance to get your hands on it? Definitely let us know down below in the comment section. That's going to wrap it up for me though. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.